Okay, so here we are for Fundamentals 1, lower body stretch. What you need, doorway. If you absolutely don't have a doorway that will work in this scenario, I'll show you how to modify the first stretch using a rope tie. You can also get fancy and use a yoga strap, but a rope tie works well. So the first thing, again, you're nice and warm, right? Everyone's either had their workout or at least they've warmed up a little bit. You're going to slide your bum right up against the wall. You're going to extend one leg up the wall, and you're going to shimmy your bum towards the wall until you start to feel a stretch. And the stretch will be felt when the opposite leg is down on the ground. Now, for some of you, maybe more flexible, you've got a couple of options here. You can pull your toe actively towards your face if you don't feel a stretch, or you can use a yoga strap or the rope tie if you want to pull that leg towards the body, in which case the wall really isn't doing anything, but there's an option there. For most people, they're going to find this quite tight. Now, I'm showing that with my bum right up against the wall. For a lot of you, you're going to have your bum maybe a foot or further away from the wall. The key here is that you want to feel the stretch at the back of the leg. On a scale of about 1 to 10, you want to be at about a 3 or a 4. Shouldn't be any pain. Okay. When you get to the more advanced levels, you may or may not be able to push your stretches a little bit further. Fundamentals 1 level is just about feeling comfortable and feeling in control of your body as you're learning what that body can do and what the body can tolerate. We don't want any injuries. So that's about 30 seconds on that side. The funny part I often find is, how do you get to the other side? I see people thinking, where are they going to put their legs? What you actually have to do is either, if you have a doorway that's open, you can go onto the other side. But like most people, if you're doing this at your house, you're going to have a doorway like that. So what you have to do is go on the opposite side of the doorway like I'm showing here. So I'm going to slide my foot up. My bum comes as close as I comfortably feel I can. And you can't see, but my opposite leg is quite straight. Okay, it can have a little soft bend, especially if you're tight. And we're going to hold that for 30 seconds. Make sure, another thing that I often see with people is that this extended leg is winging out here. We don't want that. We want that nice in line with your hips. So make sure that that's happening. And 30 seconds, like I said in the upper body video, 30 seconds is the bare minimum that you want to be holding these stretches. So your options are to go through this stretch again, this series of stretches again, or ideally, once you are understanding how to do these stretches, you're going to be holding for bare minimum a minute, sometimes up to 2. Especially these lower body stretches, you can hold them for quite some time and they can be quite comfortable. You'll want to ideally learn how to do these stretches, figure out how to do them, say, in front of a TV when you're having your downtime, maybe when your kids are playing, so that you can get these done. Okay, and then we're going to slide over and I'm going to show you stretch number 2. Once again, it's going to be using a wall. So you're going to lie down with your bum probably starting about a couple of feet away from the wall. As you feel you need more stretch, you bring your bum closer to the wall. So you angle your bum towards the wall. One foot goes up against the wall. You're going to press off the wall to lift your bum up. Leg crosses over top, and you drop down until you feel a stretch. Should be approximately in this area here. Everyone's going to feel it a little slightly different. You should notice one thing that's very important is, where is your pelvis angled? It's angled, should be angled straight towards the wall. So a lot of people are aiming to get this leg parallel to the wall, and in doing so, they bring their hips over to the side in order to cheat. You don't want to do that. Use your hips as your guide. Those should always stay square to the wall. And we're going to be holding that for 30 seconds to a minute. You can, if you feel you want to increase that stretch, you've got a couple of options. You can shimmy your bum closer, or as long as you can maintain your hips square, you can gently push this knee away from your body. And we're going to be holding that for about another 10 seconds. I'd love to stay here for 2 minutes, but since I want to keep these videos nice and short and sweet, I won't do that. We're going to switch to the other side, lift up, cross one leg over the knee, and gently relax into the stretch. I've got, notice where I'm crossing this leg, it's right about ankle. You don't want to be pressing through the knee, or sorry, through the ankle. You want to be nice and firm on the solid part of the ankle joint. And pay attention. Is one side tighter than the other? If it is, and it's consistently that way, you might want to spend a little bit more time stretching that side. If you are in this stretch and your bum is not touching the ground, you are too close to the wall. Make sure you shimmy backwards. And you are holding that for about 30 seconds, bare minimum, ideally longer. Feels so good. I should do this more often. Okay, and relax. And you're coming out. And the next stretch that we're going to be doing against the wall is called the Buddha stretch. I call it the Buddha stretch. It's actually an inner groin stretch. So you're going to slide, again, back right up against the wall, and then bring your feet as close to the body as feels comfortable. Now, a lot of you are going to look like that, and that's going to feel like a stretch. That's fine. Go to what your body allows you to. Some of you are going to have those knees a little further down than me, and that's fine too. Important part about stretching is to make sure you're listening to your own body. The negative part about, say, watching somebody like myself do it is, or watching another person in general doing it, is you're looking at what their body does. Everybody's body's a little bit different. They can, especially with stretching, they can go a little bit further or a little bit less far than you, and you want to make the pose into what your body is comfortable doing. So pay attention to what you're feeling. Scale 1 to 10, about a 3 to a 4. If you're feeling any time where the body is rebelling against you a little bit, or you're sweating excessively in a stretch, you want to back off a little bit. When you get into the active release videos, which will be showing that if you're perspiring a little bit, your heart rate's elevated, that's okay in active release, not in stretching at this point. There we go, almost done. Okay, and then we're going to go into a quad stretch. Again, I really like to use the wall. With this, what you're going to do is you're going to lie on your side. You're going to grab, most of you are familiar with this stretch where you grab the ankle and pull your heel towards your bum. We're doing that exact same thing, except we're going to use that wall to help us. So once I've got my ankle in position, I'm going to shimmy back towards the wall a little bit to give my body a little bit of leverage here. And then I'm going to let the wall do the work. I'm also going to pull this knee up towards me. That's going to keep my spine in a good position. And if I want to, I can still use my hand to guide. And I get a really nice deep stretch in through that quad. Core is pulled in nice and tight. I'm making sure that the knee is staying about in line with the hip. It's not winging up here. You'll lose the stretch if the knee wings up there. You want to keep it in line with the body. And holding. Finding a comfortable position for your neck. You can do this without the wall. It just, depending on how tight your quads are, it takes a lot more work. So you want to, with these static stretches, we're trying to find something that's not a lot of work for you and that's quite enjoyable that you can do and just relax. And then we're going to switch to the other side. So once again, I'm going to use the wall, getting nice and close to the wall. Bottom leg is pulled up so I can keep my spine in a good position. Bring the heel back towards my bum. Use the wall, so I'm leveraging, I'm getting a little bit closer to the wall. And getting into a nice quad stretch. Making sure that I feel the stretch, that the knee is approximately in line with the hip. Core in nice and tight. And I'm holding for my bare minimum 30 seconds. Longer if I've got time. So again, if you're watching this on your phone and you have the time, press pause. Once you're in the stretch, you know what you're doing, hold it for a little bit longer. The idea, though, of course, the whole point of these videos is to make it accessible to people, so if you can only do it the length of this particular video, that's great. Do it, get it done, at least you're doing it. And there we go. That's it for the lower body stretches for now. There are lots more stretches that we can do, but again, we're trying to make this accessible, so keeping it short and sweet. Until next time, thanks so much.